I'm Yuri and I'm going for a drive. Jeep Grand Wagoneer Series 3L with the new twin-turbo inline-6 Hurricane engine with 500 horsepower and 510 pounds-feet of torque and a maybe unofficial launch control. That's not bad. So today we're doing a Yuri solo review. We've got this Grand Wagoneer and it's got the new motor, which is pretty cool. The last Grand Wagoneer we drove was with the V8, and this actually has more horsepower, more torque, and is more efficient. And then this is the first Grand Wagoneer L. And now there's also a Wagoneer L, because the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are also slightly different. Like the Grand Wagoneer one's more luxurious and has like slightly different looks and stuff. So let's start it off with showing the trunk space to show how much more room you get over a Grand Wagoneer non-L. So this adds 12 inches of length to the car and extends the wheelbase by 7 inches. And it actually doesn't even feel that much bigger. I've done some crazy U-turns and had no issues actually turning around. Like, it's not a full-on boat, which has been nice. And next, because this is a luxury 3-row, let's look at all the seats. We can fit in every single one of them. There is so much room. We even have reclining in the very back, USB and USB-C in the very back. We've got screens back here, and we even have a screen for the passenger so that they can watch stuff that the driver cannot see. And as I like to do for a Yuri solo review, I like to get to the price right away. This one starts at 130,495 Canadian, and this one is sitting at 140,670. And what this really competes with is an extended Escalade. There is an extended Navigator as well, and then also, I guess, the Denali Yukon Extended. This doesn't really compete with a GLS or a X7 because those aren't super extended, but I guess like it kind of can because this is a luxury car. It's kind of like its own brand, Wagoneer, just like how Genesis turned into its own brand. That's what they're doing with this. Even when you go to spec one out, you go to wagoneer.ca, not jeep.ca to spec one out. And by the way, that website is very, very rough, so web designers do some work. I was trying to rotate around and look at all the cool interiors, and it was just very hard to use in Chrome, which should be where it works the best. So this being a Yuri only review, I'm going to dive deep into the stuff that makes this awesome for daily driving, all the cool features, dig right into it. We'll talk a little bit about power and handling, but like, it's not really about that, is it? It can off-road, but the main thing is we have screens, tons of screens, big gauge cluster, big infotainment, a passenger screen that you can watch TV on. There's screens back here and has built-in Fire TV, so Amazon Alexa and stuff. In the back, you can also go to YouTube, go to Netflix. You do need a Wi-Fi connection. This does have Wi-Fi built into it, but nobody activated it, so I had to set it up to my hotspot on my iPhone, which was fine. You can also cast directly to the TV wirelessly if you have an Android, or if you have an iPhone, connect through HDMI through an adapter. And for me as an iPhone owner, I would much rather do that than even consider owning an Android. I don't like Android. It's not my jam. It's not Jacob's either. He converted over. Shout out Apple. I mean, whatever, who cares? And then you have little remotes. You actually have like a proper TV remote, like, you know, you probably have at home for yours. And then you also have headphones that sync up to each one separately. And you can, I think, also share what people are watching, but I couldn't find the headphones anywhere in the car. I checked that armrest, it wasn't there. I checked this armrest and there's just a fridge down there, which is also pretty cool. And then with this having built-in Alexa, it does have car to home, which I think you can start like controlling stuff at your home through your car, which I personally would not want to trust ever at all. So some people might like all that tech stuff, but I would like a harder disconnect between my car and my house. Let me know in the comments below if you have car to home and you actually use it. Like, what do you use it for? Just to turn on the lights when you get home or turn up the temperature? I don't know. To order groceries? And then with these screens, you don't have to use the built-in Fire TV. You can also plug into HDMI, like there's an HDMI here in this secret compartment, which I'll get to in a second. HDMI back there, and you have AC power back here too, and 12 volt power, and only 12 volt in the trunk. So I guess technically you could hook up a game system, play that, but I don't know if there's going to be HDMI input lag like there was in that BMW i7. So let's test that out with some N64 with my HDMI converter and see. All right, the colors are all messed up when I try it on the front one, but it doesn't seem like there's too much input lag. Oh my God, that's probably the worst input lag I've ever seen in my life. Nah, not about it. All right, now we got the PlayStation with the official PlayStation cable. Let's see if it works and if there's any input lag. Hey, it does work. And oh my God, so much input lag. So you really can't play anything on here. All right, so I plugged in my computer instead, and you can see there is a good amount of input lag. I would say not acceptable for games, sorry. And that kind of sucks that it has input lag, because then you can't really play a lot of games like you could in that Dodge Durango that just had the RCA cables. That was perfect. I think analog gaming belongs in cars. I think there was a minivan that had a built-in N64 controller. That was cool. And then with these screens here, there's no screen in the middle because we have this big gigantic moonroof and a sunscreen at the back, which is very nice. I would much rather have the flip down like I had in the Odyssey and older minivans, because then the people in the back can enjoy it too. I assume you're gonna have this for a family or a limo, but maybe a family for kids. So now back to the secret phone compartment. It took me a while to figure out how to plug in my CarPlay because it was down. If I click this button right here, it drops down or lifts up, and that's where you have some of your temperature and fan controls, which you could also get up here as well, your massage seat controls, and your rear climate as well. When you click this button, it does lift up, and then you can put your phone on a wireless charger as well, because it does have wired and wireless Apple CarPlay, and then it also does have USB and USB-C for everything. It is like the perfect combination of all the technology you need, unlike a lot of other companies that'll only give you USB-C and wireless. Like, I want the options. It's a transitionary period in cars. And then in that compartment too, you can stick your phone up or on the wireless tray. And it's nice because it can be up, because sometimes having your phone on a wireless tray overheats your phone and there's nowhere else to put it except for on the wireless charging tray. And with that there, it'll also close, but I don't know if I fully trust having a phone in an electric closing compartment, because like, what if it gets stuck? Then like, what am I gonna have to try to rip that open by hand and like cause so much damage, or like go to a shop and see if they could fix it and like risk losing my phone in there? I prefer like mechanical places to hold my phone, or just keep it up, like drop it for a massage and bring it back up. But you can also control your massage through here, so that's fine too. The next thing, so when you're parked, you may hear that. You can go to a relax mode, which will make this show up on all three screens. You can get the, what is this one called? The Aurora Borealis, an aquarium theme, a fireplace theme, a forest theme, or also a topographic theme. I guess it's meant for relaxing, but the thing is, you can't see the passenger side screen because of like the computer angle screen protection thing. Even when you're in the middle, you can't really see all three. And on the right side, you could like barely see all three. I think they make it look a lot cooler on the marketing material than it does in real life, but it is definitely a cool gimmick and a cool way to use all three screens that I would never use except for to impress people with my gimmicks and to finish off the infotainment. I know that's a lot. There's even more. We've got favorites that slide down at the top, which is nice. You've got all your hard buttons, not hard buttons, but like menu buttons always at the bottom, even when you're in CarPlay, which is something that like Alexis and a lot of other companies that have bad infotainments don't do. And then this does have a Macintosh system, which I really, really love. It's got Sirius XM, a lot of good stations. You can get like 341 and stuff. It does rewind. It has been a pleasure listening to music in this car. That was a lot. Now let's get to the looks. From the outside, first thing I want to talk about is the wheels. They don't stand out to me at all. I barely even know what they look like. I kind of hate them. The Continental recommended tire would be the Viking Contact 7 for winter or the Cross Contact LX25 in the summer. And then if you want to go to our continental.com/TheStraightPipes page, you can even just say it to your phone and it spits it out and sends you there perfectly. continentaltire.com/TheStraightPipes. Because sometimes it's hard to type out continentaltire.com/TheStraightPipes, or you could click the link in the description below. And since I hated the wheels, first thing I did was Google 4G Autos Grand Wagoneer. And the first thing that showed up was a couple Wagoneers with photos on it. It was a non-Grand Wagoneer, but it was whited out with the woodies and sick wheels. Shout out Forgiato, my favorite wheels. I think they should have a spec with the Woody just like that because it looks so amazing. Now to the looks. Starting with the side view. That back window looks freaking huge, but it doesn't look too awkward. Like, it looks menacing. It looks like a presidential convoy kind of car. I can definitely see Stellantis paying to have this as like a bad guy vehicle in like an upcoming Marvel movie or something, because they do that a lot with different movies. From the side view, my favorite part is the chrome trim around the windows and along the roof. Also the chrome of the roof rack, which really stands out when you've got like a darker background, like trees behind it. Funny thing is, this car looks black, right? It's not. It's like a very, very, very dark, like candy red or purple or something like that. The roof actually is black. This is a two-tone option, but you can barely tell. Sometimes it pops. I think it's very cool if you want a black car with a little bit of like flavor to it. I think I do like that red one with the black roof that we had before, but I also do love the chrome silhouettes against the black. This also can raise and lower a whole bunch, but not like super, super low like an Alpina dumped, which actually would be super sick. We do have side steps for getting in and out, and they are very, very convenient. At night, we've got Wagoneer lights on the ground, and this what lights up on the door that says Wagoneer, so that's cool. As for headlights and taillights, we've got cool Jeep LEDs. Everything in there looks really nice. We've got a little carbon fiber there too, which is cool. We've got a different grille and hood style than a regular Wagoneer, because a regular Wagoneer will say Wagoneer on the hood. This says Wagoneer on the chrome. Then on the back, it also says Grand Wagoneer. And I love that silver chrome outline around the back window. It just looks so friggin' cool. Like, I think I do like the looks of this more than the Escalade. Even though Escalade is like classic and it's an Escalade, this just has like a different look that I think is more interesting to other people. Like, it's more of a conversation starter. And then compared to the looks of a Lincoln, I don't really care for a Lincoln. Yukon Denali, kind of cool, but like, I think this is a better look. And then moving on to the back, no exhaust tips, so let's listen to it from the outside. Sounds pretty all right for a 6-cylinder. Let's get on it. Nothing pumped in, just pretty much normal 2023 car sounds, which is fine. Taillights, pretty cool. Got like Jeep there, red lines. We got sequential at the front and back, and I think those like little pods underneath. If you look really close, it does look really nice. I really like all the fine details. Then we also have the Series 3 L badge back there too. All the badges are very cool. The way it shows like bronze on the outside and silver on top, or brushed steel, or whatever it is. It's just a good looking car with lots of nice details. And if you're looking to buy one or want to compare it on a configurator, I would highly suggest using tsp.truecar.com instead of the configurator on Wagoneer.ca, because Wagoneer.com is very difficult to use. Back to driving this. Do I look like I'm comfortable? We got air suspension on this. It is very, very comfortable. We have a ton of off-road modes too. Our drive modes are rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, and sport. I've just been keeping it in auto because whatever. We also have four-wheel drive low. We've got downhill assist. We have a rear electronic LSD and quadra-track and quadra-drive 4x4 stuff. There's like a bunch of versions. It's kind of confusing. I don't really know, but we do have an off-road page for your off-road mode stuff. So you can click launch off-road pages. You get all your information and stuff like that. You can even record breadcrumbs, which will record what trail you want and send it to the app on your phone, which I don't have, but that is pretty cool to have. I mean, it's probably better to save it in Google Maps, but you can't blame them for trying to like give you features, right? They can't make their whole brand off, oh, you'll just do it in Google Maps, right? Because like this has its own navigation, but I'm never going to use it. Google Maps or nothing. Even Apple Maps, like, don't need to like get sent the wrong direction or be late. Plus, I love driving around in satellite view. I don't know why. I just like to see like the topograph, like an actual satellite view of what's around me as I drive. And then to launch your off-road pages actually loads a lot quicker than previous infotainments, because this is Uconnect 5, and it is very quick, very smooth, works great. And then yeah, that rear independent multi-leg suspension just makes this very, very comfortable. As for handling, we did drive through Cliche Corner a bit yesterday, and it was like kind of all right. Like, it's a boat, but you're not going to push it like push it. So it felt fine. It felt like fully adequate for how big this is and what I want to do with it. And then as for towing, this can tow a little over 9,000 pounds in this configuration, the L with the 3-liter motor. However, if you have, I think, the non-L and the 3-liter motor, I think you can tow up to 10,000. I think you lose weight depending on if you have the V8 because of how much that engine weighs compared to the 6-cylinder, and also if you have the L instead of the non-L. And then with towing, they showed a cool video that you can back right up to your trailer with like the backup trailer camera, 360 cameras and stuff. And what they said you could do is drop the air suspension all the way down, line up perfectly with the trailer hitch, and then raise the air suspension up to get under the trailer hitch so you don't actually have to crank anything ever. I have not tested that out because there's no trailer hitch on here. My trailer is buried in my garage, but I think you could make it work. Maybe I'll try to like reverse up to a pylon and see if I can like absolutely nail it. Got it. And then as for other videos online with this car, guess who the celebrity to advertise this car is? Here's a hint. He's American. Baseball player. Derek Jeter. Seems like he's having a good time with the Wagoneer, the Grand Wagoneer, sorry. All right, and then a couple more things we got to address. You may have this if you have a kid or kids and a dog. We can definitely put a rear-facing child seat there with a ton of room. And then we do have family cam, so if we click this button, or fam cam, you can see the back seats and it'll highlight a certain seat and show it upside down. So if you have a rear-facing seat, which I still use, you can see the baby's face straight on, not upside down, which is pretty cool. This does have rear baby shades on either side, so that's nice too, instead of having to stick on your own. And then if your car is loaded up with people and they're blocking your view out the back, we do have a rear view mirror that turns into a camera as well. And then we also have those little like wide angle mirrors on the side too, I guess because this is such a huge car. You can also lock the car by clicking the trunk close button on the trunk while it's closing, unlike a Mazda, which has to wait for the trunk to close all the way. And then the trunk close button isn't up at the top, it's on the left side, which throws me off every time I drive a Stellantis product. And then as for commuting to work with this, we do have the really good adaptive cruise and lane centering. It is the Maserati style where you just need to have like your fingers on it like that. Works wonderfully. And to click that, you got to click the buttons on this weird looking steering wheel, but it's got really nice materials. I don't know what this like weave metal thing is, but it all looks nice. I love the Grand Wagoneer over that. Like it's got piano black, but like this is luxury, luxury, luxury. So I am all right with it. We got a hard button for massage. We got kind of capacitive buttons for our heated steering wheel and all heated seats and stuff like that, which is really cool. When I remote started it this morning, it also had all the heated stuff go on, but I don't have the app, so I don't know how fully I can customize it. The only thing that was weird was I couldn't find the lumbar support anywhere, so I had to dig through the seat settings in the infotainment to get that. But once I dialed that in, that was good. And the massage isn't like super, super hard, but it's just like an overall good, decent massage system. And then this has a ZF 8-speed, but no paddles. Where the paddles would be, we've just got our volume controls, which I love as a Chrysler fanboy. Well, I don't know if I'm a fanboy, I just have two of them. And then also really decent head-up display, not offensive, not too big, doesn't show any of the wrong information, it's just nice and chill. And then with Wagoneers, you can get different layouts. We've got the 7-seater setup back there. We've got this little area here with the armrest that can control your climate back there. And with different variations, you know who has floor mats that covers all the different sizes? TuxMat. So get a set of TuxMats for your Wagoneer or whatever car you have at tuxmat.com/TheStraightPipes. And then to add to the seats, yeah, they're very comfortable in every single row. It's so nice to have that much room. No real complaints. Cool interior colors available from the website, which I had the hardest time spinning around and trying to look at. But it does look like you can have a lot of cool options and make your Wagoneer like pretty extravagant. And you can also drop all the seats down from the very back, so you get like a pretty flat load floor, and you can automatically raise up the back row from there too, but not the middle row, obviously. You know how it is. And then lastly, you know Dodge, you know their reverse cameras, they are awful. What does this have? It has a pretty all right 360 camera, no hard button for it, but you can add it as a favorite to the top. It makes it very easy to maneuver, but it's also like not the best. Like I'd expect more from a Grand Wagoneer Series 3, but Escalade's getting away with their janky GTA 4 spinning around the car view, even though this doesn't have one. So like the 360 camera stuff is all right. It also has automatic parking, which you might want to use if you have trouble parking a big boat like this, but it is kind of slow. So I found just parking it myself was kind of easier, but the automatic parking does work and it's very clear and easy to use. And lucky for us, this car does pass the visor test with flying colors, and it'll fit a whole bunch of different cups in the cup holder very easily. Oh, and the last thing I forgot is we do have night vision in the gauge cluster, which does have pedestrian and animal detection assistant, which is pretty cool. And you can run it during the day, unlike a lot of other cars, which is cool. And then your gauge cluster is very fluid, very nice. You can have your speedo in the middle, and that's all I really want. So I think overall, I like this. I think it is better than an Escalade if you look at all the features and every little thing you can do. Like, we got a volume knob, a tuning knob. I'm pretty sure a lot of other cars don't have a tuning knob. It all works pretty fluidly. The built-in TVs and stuff work really well. Like, having a TV up for your passenger is also really cool. I think if you can get over the fact that the name Wagoneer isn't as cool as the name Escalade, then this is awesome, unless you're willing to pony up the over $200,000 for the Escalade V, which is the ultimate big three-row SUV. Like, hands down, can't compete with that at all. But this, if you're not going V, I really like it. Again, the price of this is 140,670 Canadian, where a similarly priced extended Cadillac Escalade would go for 157,758 Canadian. It's pretty sweet. I really like it. Lots of good stuff, and I'll be back filming a car review with Jacob in no time. Thanks for watching.